I'm back. I decide to change it up. Mukbang. I hope I'm saying it right. So I went to a restaurant, Pocono. I can't even pronounce it. What I have here is Asian and American fusion salad, and I have chicken with sticky rice. This is supposed to be grilled. So here we go. And then for drinks, no, it's not liquor. It's ginger and sorrel. So I'm going to try it. The chicken. Hell no. Atlanta needs to stop. Looks good. So I'll try that. A little better. So today, I want to talk about, I've been getting a lot of response in the comment, and I may not be fast enough to respond, but I'm listening. I'm listening. Someone asked me, what was your worst travel assignment? This one assignment was in a correctional facility, a prison. And I would say this was my worst experience. I had read up on the prison before I got there. I usually do in all my assignment when I know I'm going to a hospital setting. I look up the hospital, I look up the unit to see, kind of gauge what kind of environment I'm going into. Nothing was prepared me for what I was about to walk into. So it was close to Christmas, and I got a call that they needed some crisis nurses. It was a quick assignment. It was only going to be for 4 weeks and possible extended. So I said, 4 weeks? Yeah, I could do that. It's fast. And I could be home on the 31st, just in time for New Year's Day. So the assignment would be ended on New Year's Eve. So I called up a few friends, and I think three accepted it. One, she did not work with me, but she went to a different location. But I'm going to focus on my experience at my facility, and my two friends was with me. So that was good. The thing that made it difficult for me, we were the only three African-American nurses. And you know, a lot of people might say, I'm not going with the racism situation, but I'm going towards that because that's how I felt, and my peers felt that. When we walked in, it was a lot of stairs. And usually when you walk into a place and everybody just stop and stares, I could see the inmates, mostly African-American inmates, they were looking because I guess we look different. And the officers, when we go on the cell block, they were like, "You're not from here, are you?" "No, I'm from Georgia." I said, "Why?" Because they never seen African-American nurse. No way. They knew that we were different. We're coming into a situation. Usually it's the CNA, or they call them med tech, that do medication. So they put us to do medication, not to do any nursing. When I say nursing, like they had sick call, they didn't ask us to do that. They didn't ask us to do anything pertaining to dealing with the patient. We can do IVs. They had a section in the medical department that they just had one IV, and no, they had to have their nurse doing it. So this one particular nurse, they didn't have anybody in charge, administration-wise. The warden, he was the administration. And he give direction. So this one nurse, she step up and she says she's the charge nurse. You can tell us anything because we're not there. We don't know. We just, under her guidance, we do everything that she says. And she said, you were hired to give meds. Nothing else. Okay, Becky, okay. I'll do anything you say. I just want this to be over. Every day we go in is something different, something new. She'll pull you. You're in the middle of medication. Oh, no, y'all, you need to go do the diabetics. And I work 7A to 7P. My two other friends, they come in at 11 a.m. and they leave at 11 p.m. So 7 o'clock meds in any prison is not as bad. It's the 9 p.m., which I didn't have anything to do with it. It's my two friends who had it rough. They don't come out that much for meds in the morning time. They all want to come out at night. So because of COVID, they don't come up to the med room anymore. They have one place where the medication room is. So the warden decided that that's going to be shut down because he didn't have enough officers, and the line will be in terms of social distance, which I understand. Think of South Dakota weather. Yes, walking outside to A, B, C, D, the cold, snow, sleet weather, and then go into the hot cell. It was horrible. I didn't like the weather. I didn't like walking in the snow to go to their cell, and I had to go to each cell to give medication. And if you make a mistake, because they want you to pre-pour the meds, that's something that I feel that it was against my nursing judgment to my license to pre-pour the meds, run back and give it to them. And if I make a mistake, they're not going to say, oh, okay, I don't need no meds. They want their meds. Inmates going to want their meds. So you got to run back like 2 blocks to go back to the med room, pre-pour, get their meds, and run back then and finish your tour. So this particular day, I think she said she wanted some nurses. She wanted us to do flu shot. Flu shot in December, almost January 1st is around the corner. Flu shot should have been started. So apparently they did not start it. They started late. Anyway, it was sweet. I didn't mind doing it. However, most of the inmates did not want the flu shot. So job was a breeze. So, you know, with flu shot, the needles, and in a prison system, you always have to count the needles. So I got back, I did my friend, she helped me. I document and she give the shot and vice versa. And so I went back, and with the nurse, the 3 to 11 staff nurse, I counted the needle, and she said everything was okay. The next day, the nurse, we all was pouring meds, getting ready to go out to my assignment, and she wanted me to go do the flu shot. Me, because I'm day shift, she said I could do the flu shot and somebody help me. So the lady came in. Becky, did you use all the needles? I said, no. I counted with your staff nurse and the count was correct. Now, red flag, let me take a drink. Are you saying that the count was how many needles? I was shocked. I didn't say a word. I just look, oh my God, I'm in the jail now. What? 25 needles missing. Did you hear me? 25 needles missing. That's what Becky said. And her name is really Becky. 25 needles is missing. So I said, how can it be possible when I counted with your staff nurse and she and I co-signed? Because you have to do that. You do that with narcotics because you do that with the needle. This is a prison. This is not my first time working prison. This may be my first time working in there as a COVID nurse, but I know the rules and what's supposed to be right. I counted with your 3 to 11 charge nurse. If anything mistake is on her because she took the count and it was correct. Now you telling me 25 needles is missing? Oh my Jesus. All I could think about, I'm right here. I'm already in the prison. What they can do? Take me down, book me, whatever. Here I am. I'm not going to go home to see my family. This nurse really serious. And they were worried for me, my friends. So I went out there and I said, how is it possible? I'm acting to her. The other nurse said, oh, you don't have to have an attitude. Why is it I have an attitude? Why is it black nurse always, or black people, we have an attitude? We always the angry one. You said 25 needles missing. Wouldn't you be angry? But I wasn't angry. I'm just trying to get to her. What? Why? What? I didn't hear you right. Are you serious? And so she was fumbling the paper. And I said, let me go get the papers. Because the papers that I signed off with all the needles, all the patients, I don't call them inmates. And you have to watch my other video to find out why. I give them respect because they are patients to me. How many patients I did and how many people refused. I put the sheet in the back in the medical records and I'll go there. So I went there and looked for the sheet and I pull up the record and she's going over it and she's counting. She's counting the people that refused and the people that got the needle. So that means the count will be off. No, you don't count the people that refuse because the people that refuse, I didn't use any needles. I bought back the needles. And so I'm going over it. What do you mean 25? You can't count now? I'm saying this in my mind because look, I'm at the mercy. There's only 3 black nurses here, but it was me, Patrice M. Foster, that's going to go down on this. So she said, when she said I was angry, she said, you don't have to be angry. That's what she said. And I'm going to call the warden. That's what she said. And I said, call the warden. Call the warden right now. I'm standing here. Call him. And I look at the officer. I said, officer, call the warden. I'm ready, since he's in charge. The officer didn't, they're not going to listen to me. They listened to her, Becky. And I said, please, officer, call the warden. But he didn't listen to me. A few days after, came back the next day. She she went in the back. And you know what? I walked back there because I'm a lady. And this is a woman. So woman to woman, eye to eye, we're going to straighten this out. So I went back there. I said, Lord, I hope I don't get in trouble. But I'm going to be calm and I'm like I was. And I went to her and I said, can I talk to you? What's your problem? You seem to have an issue because I did everything you said. I counted with your charge nurse. If anything, you should have called her. Don't come at me because I did not take any needle. If you think something wrong, if you think drug test, whatever, I need all those flu shots, call the warden right now on the phone since you're sitting at your desk. She said, "Duh," you know how they get scared because you were back there with her by herself. The door was open. I was safe. And so, few days I kept asking, when is the warden coming? All day I've been asking. Then she come, it was a mistake. I said, no, I still want to talk to the warden. So about 3 days after we were doing, normally we go, and before that I told her, you know what? I'm not doing no flu shot. I'm not doing no insulin. Anything pertaining to the needle, I am not touching it. So you're going to have to find somebody. She said, that's okay. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. I'm not doing it. And you can call the warden on that too. We did our meds in the cold, sleet, snow, because she said that's what we were hired for, to be sitting in the storage room while they sitting out there mingling with the officers, mingling without their masks. This is a COVID. The patients have COVID. They have these slim, flimsy masks. As a matter of fact, before the incident, I asked one of the nurses, they were making jokes. Y'all three always have your N95 off. We say, yeah. And I asked them, why don't you? Oh, this is a liberal state. Oh. As a matter of fact, I really didn't know what they were talking about. It's a liberal state until somebody said, I looked it up. You look it up too. You know what I mean. I don't want to get into it, to the politics. Anyway, a few days off after I called off, I asked an officer, another new officer, can you please call the warden? We really want to talk to him. They said the warden was coming. Apparently the warden been on vacation. That's what they claim. Then one day I came to work and he said he was the assistant to the warden. He came to see us. And he said, I'm trying to pacify us. Why are you sitting here? Why are you sitting in the storage room? You can sit out there. I said, that's where they put us. And he said to us that he had come that day when she had called him. And when he got there, she said, nothing, no problem. They didn't let me talk to the warden. So we explain everything to the warden and they start pacify. You know how they feel guilty and make you seem like, oh, I'm going to handle it. It spilled over to the officers on the unit and I started to feel unsafe. Because the officer would scream at you. And apparently when she was screaming at me, I just asked her, why are you so angry? But I did not, and I just walk away. And apparently the officer that was walking with me to the cell block, he must have reported back to the warden because they came and said, oh, we're going to handle her. We're going to handle her. She's going to be disciplined. I said, I don't care. I'm almost over. This is over with. We tried to call our agency and explain to them. The only focus is, and this is the key that you need to learn about these agencies, they only care about themselves, the money. Because the concern wasn't if we were okay. Because once the officers start treating you bad, you start to feel like, yeah, you're going to go to give meds to an inmate that's in the shower, really? And he pushed his hands out, yeah, he's in the shower, I take my meds, and it's okay? You open up all the cells and rushing you, trying to give meds to all. I didn't like that. They say things and nobody stopped them. So you kind of feel like it's a setup. I didn't expect it in the prison system that the officer would start treating us like, hey, your security is not here with me, baby. So if you think I'm backing you up, you let the inmate come and get you, calling you sweetie, baby, what? Do you want to come in? It was scary. I was trying to stay a little longer. In other words, trying to stay to the end. And the last day, my friends wouldn't let me. They say, I'm not leaving until you leave. We all leaving out of here together safely. We coming off that lot safely. And I appreciate that I had these type of friend, these type of nurse support that was caring about me. And we look out for each other. Because that was rough. That was one of the worst assignments. And you know, look at all the other visitors. I've always liked number one, work in the prison system. I love it. It's the easiest job you'll ever get.